All right, this one's coming in from the world of cricket as Australia's star batter Steve Smith has now announced his retirement from one-day internationals. The middle order batter's final appearance in ODIs came in the Champions Trophy semi-final against India in Dubai, in which he top scored for Australia with 73 runs in a losing cause. Though the 35-year-old batter featured in 170 ODIs, scoring 5,800 runs at an average of 43.28 and a strike rate of 86.96, including 12 centuries, even 35 half centuries. He's finished his career as the 12th highest run getter for Australia in ODIs. He's registered his highest score of 164 against New Zealand back in the year 2016, having made his debut as a leg-spinning all-rounder. He also picked 28 wickets and took 90 catches. But let's quickly go across to Vineet Ramakrishnan of Cricket Next, who will perhaps put this into perspective for us. Vineet, share with us, is this now going to be history in the making with Steve Smith, of course, stepping down? Is this is he not going to be missed now as a cricketing legend steps down today?
Well, most definitely, he will be missed as one of the greatest to have played the game. In fact, as part of the Fab Four, alongside Virat Kohli, Kane Williamson, Steve Smith and Joe Root. And here you are, there's no more Fab Four who are active now. There's Steve Smith, who has retired. From an ODI perspective, he has been a great cricketer for Australia. As you mentioned, the number of runs and the records that he has to his name. He may not have had the greatest of ODI careers in comparison to what he has done in Test, but again, very, very vital part of that Australian setup. And this is, in a way, a transition also, not just within the Fab Four, but even in the Australian team. Remember, the sandpaper gate really, took his captaincy away. Now he was back. In a sense, it was very ironical that Smith leaves the ODI stage, captaining the Australian side. He was a captain for the longest time for the Australian team, part of the 2015 World Cup winning squad as well, and was quite fitting for him that in the Champions Trophy and playing a knock which pretty much defined what Steve Smith's career has been. A very gritty 80-odd run knock against India, even though for the losing cause, but it pretty much defined what Steve Smith's career has been. A grafter, always somebody who had the skill set, amazing hand-eye coordination. So yeah, he will be missed from the ODI setup. And as I mentioned, it is the first of that Fab Four who's probably retiring from the ODI setup. We now have a Kohli, Joe Root, and a Kane Williamson remaining. Remember, Kohli stepped away from the T20I format.
Vineet, we've seen how he was holding fort yesterday, and yet many are saying that this is a shock retirement. Why so?
Well, shock retirement in the sense that you could see that he still could have delivered a lot, and with as I said, there's a bit of transition phase that is going on. There were a lot of Australian players who are on the other side of the 30. So Smith, and plus the fact is you don't have a ready-made replacement for Smith at number 4. Australia would be struggling to have somebody there at number 3, number 4, the ODI setup where Smith had raked up so many runs. So the shock retirement comes in the way that, there's no ready-made replacement. And from an Australian perspective as well, even before the Champions Trophy, there was another Australian, a much younger Australian, Marcus Stoinis, who retired from ODI cricket. So in a sense, it's also a way you can look at it that ODI cricket is probably losing its relevance, where these great cricketers are stepping away from the format to focus more on the T20s and the Test cricket. Smith, of course, only retired from ODI cricket. He'll still be available for Test. He will be available for the T20I.
Yes, that perhaps is heartening news for fans of Steve Smith. Many thanks to you, Vineet, for bringing us those latest breaking inputs.